What's up guys, it is Mighty Man DGBA here, your coach of the West Bromwich Altarias, and we are back for Season 6 of the DGBA, and of course we are up against Parkzy. As always, we always seem to get him week 1. So Season 6, we are in Division 1. Hopefully you will have seen a draft recap video that came out yesterday, Saturday night. Assuming this comes out on Sunday when it's supposed to. But yeah, we are here against Parkzy. He has a very scary team, full of mons that really I wanted to draft, but he got there just before me and managed to take them all. So this is not a team that I am particularly happy with, especially going into this battle. It's I'm not very happy with the team that I built, especially when I got into the battle and realised that I had made a lot of mistakes, and I will go over them right now. So Mantine only had 3 moves. That was a mistake. Superior was Overgrow instead of Contrary. That was a massive mistake. Altaria, I put Dragon Claw on when I should have put Earthquake on. And that's kind of it. And I bought Crabominable with a Focus Sash, which really wasn't the best item for it, but I kind of didn't know what to put on it, so I just put the Focus Sash on it for the sake of it. Probably could have put a lot better item on that, but let's get straight into it. So Parkzy leads off with the Landorus. I lead off with the Crabominable because I was expecting the Landorus. And I don't know why, but I didn't think he would U-turn here. I thought, because he actually has Z Landorus, I thought he would go for his Z move here to take out my Crabominable. That's why it was Focus Sash, so it would live any hit, any Z move, whatever that this Landorus wanted to do, and I could hit a Ice Hammer off and knock out his Landorus. However, he does go for the U-turn into Rotom Wash, which takes a fair bit of damage from the Ice Hammer here. Now, I didn't really know what to expect from the Rotom Wash. I actually didn't think he would be Will-O-Wisp. Don't really have a reason for not thinking he'd be Will-O-Wisp. I just had like a gut feeling that I had that he wouldn't have the Will-O-Wisp on his Rotom, so I stayed in thinking, oh, I can get that Focus Sash back. Also, it wasn't a massive deal if I did get burned, because the good thing is with Ice Hammer on the Landorus, it's going to kill regardless, regardless of whether I'm burned or not. Ice Hammer will knock out Landorus. However, he just goes for the Thunder Wave, and unfortunately for him, it does miss. I go for the Drain Punch and do get a crit, but I don't think it was that important because it was a 2-hit KO anyway. Well, in fact, the fact that I did get the crit made it so it wasn't a 2-hit KO on the Rotom, because he got the Iapapa Berry healing back, whereas if he hadn't have got the crit, it would have taken out the Rotom on 2 hits. And Parkzy actually did get annoyed by the crit, and actually made a comment in the chat, which I let get to me a little bit when I shouldn't have, but I'm not trying to make excuses. But yeah, so like a bit of luck, which you would think would be on my side, actually worked against me there with the crit, because it did give him that healing back. I decided then to switch out from Crabominable, expecting him just to go for a Thunder Wave again. And I switched into Altaria, and that might seem like a weird move, but we don't have first turn Megas in this league this season. And Altaria, before it Mega Evolves, has Natural Cure, which I am, of course, carrying. So I switch it in to take the Thunder Wave, which it does, and he does actually land it this time. I then switch back into Superior now, or not back into Superior now, as he goes for the Volt Switch, so I probably should have expected, and he then goes into his Lopunny, and I know here that this Superior can live any move that the Lopunny goes for, the Mega Lop I should say. He does go for the return, and we do live it, not amazingly well, but fairly convincingly, and we do get the glare off. And now this, in my opinion, was really key, and this is where I notice actually that I am in fact Overgrow and not Contrary, because if I was Contrary, I would switch out here to preserve the Superior for later, especially since he has the Seismitoad and the Rotom Wash. But because I am not Contrary and it is effectively used... Sorry, no, I do switch out. I'm getting confused with later on in the battle. I switch into Metagross here, taking that return. He goes into Rotom Wash here on the Meteor Mash. Sorry, the Zen Headbutt. I'm getting all of my plays wrong. It has been about a week and a half since we had this battle. I've been very lazy. I'd say busy, but I haven't been. I've been lazy. As I miss a Zen Headbutt here, as his Rotom Wash Volt switches out again, which was annoying. Zen Headbutt miss. It's like 90% accurate, I think, maybe 80%. We did miss it, which was very annoying. I then switch out into Crabominable here as he goes for a Poison Jab, which was an interesting one. I just assume he was expecting Superior to come in, but I now go for a Drain Punch here, and we do take out this Rotom Wash. Unfortunately, I'm not quite at Focus Sash range here, but I do actually stay in against his Magearna, because in my head, even if he went for the Fleur Cannon there, he would then have to switch out on the next turn, and I get a free hit with whatever I bring in, or I can bring in Superior and go for a Glare on something. Even if he switches into the Mega Lopunny, I don't really lose anything there. But he does go for a Volt Switch, as I go for the Drain Punch, dealing quite a lot of damage to the Seismitoad, and fully reinforcing to me that this is in fact max attack Seismitoad, or at least I think it was. It was like very offensive, no bulk to it. As I go for a Air Slash here, because Seismitoad obviously gets Water Absorb. So now here I go into Superior on the Volt Switch from the beginning, and we do live. And this is where I decide, rather than trying to save the Superior, I will just go for Leaf Storm. And Parkzy does actually get paralysed there on the Fake Out, which is kind of useful. And he got mad as well, by the way. He got really annoyed at that paralysis. And was complaining about hacks, when really it was very 50-50 at this point. We both had stuff go either way, and it really got on my nerves, especially when he said it in the face of a Superior, which is obviously the wrong ability, and obviously not going to be able to do anything against his team. If this was Contrary Superior, in my opinion, this is the end of the game, because at +4 he brings in his Landorus, I hit it with a move, and spoilers, his Landorus does turn out to be Focus Sash. So yes, his Landorus would have then revenge killed the Superior, but it would have been on 1 HP. I could have come in with literally anything, hit the Landorus and killed that, and then it is a 5-on-3 with a half-health Seismitoad, a Garbodor, which doesn't do a lot against the mons that are left, and a Magearna, which is obviously very threatening. But it annoyed me a bit that he was complaining about how I hacked him out of the game, when really it was still very open. And I'm not mad at Parkzy, because Parkzy is a good guy. He's one of my, who I class as a friend in this league. It just annoyed me a little bit that this was happening. I'm still friends with Parkzy. I'm not mad at him. I'll be doing the power rankings with him coming up soon. So I'm obviously not upset with Parkzy. but I allowed the comments to get to me when I shouldn't have, and it did affect some of my play later on, but I'm not allowing that to be an excuse for the battle, because really, and I will say it now, I did lose this game. I lost this game because of bad team building and not double checking my mons and my sets, and it's my fault. So here I switch out into Mantine because I wasn't actually sure if at that range I would kill the Seismitoad, and also I don't think I knew if it was what its item was yet, so I didn't want to risk the Scarf. Here he goes for the Stealth Rock as I switch Superior back in, and I go for Glare here. Yeah, I glared because I wasn't sure if his Magina would switch in or if his Garbodor would switch in. Either way, I thought Glare would be good. And here I go for Hidden Power Grounds, and I believe this is Assault Vest. If I just pause it quickly, I think this was Assault Vest Garbodor, which is why it was only doing 20% on a super effective move. Again, if I'd been at +4, that Hidden Power Ground would have done 80%. So it would have been a 2-hit KO quite clearly. I believe it would have been a 2-hit KO on Magina as well, maybe a 3-hit KO. But still I'd have been in a lot more commanding position. But here I feel like Superior is kind of useless. Yes, it does do a lot against Seismitoad. I could have kept it for that, but now the rocks are up as well. I felt like this was the time to let Superior go. So at this point I just spam Hidden Power Grounds and get lucky with some paralysis. But again, Garbodor isn't going to live anything from sort of the Crabominable or the Metagross anymore. So those paralyses are really irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Here I go into Mantine so I can defog away those Stealth Rocks as he switches into Seismitoad. But at this point I'm just going for Air Slashes as he goes into Magina now. I actually decided against Air Slashing, going to the Mega Altaria, which was not the best mon to be in at the time, so I go back into Mantine as he goes for the Fleur Cannon, gets himself a crit, which is very irrelevant at that point. But luckily his Magina is now low on HP, so I can go into Metagross here, and I miss another move. I miss Meteor Mash this time. If that Meteor Mash had hit, it would have been enough damage on the Seismitoad so that Zen Headbutt would have killed, meaning that Metagross would still be alive and that Metagross wouldn't go down to this Earthquake, which is very annoying. But Metagross goes down to the Seismitoad. So now it is 3 on 4, where it was, I believe, 6 on 4 a minute ago. So you can see quite clearly that the game was obviously still in the balance. And at this point, I was full tilted by by a mix of the comments made and by the then hacks that went against me. So here, Mega Altaria, I just go for a return. I then Mega Evolve and I Dragon Claw, and as soon as I pressed Dragon Claw, I immediately remembered that Aftermath was a thing, but didn't have time to cancel, so I take the Aftermath damage there. He goes into Magina, I switch into Crabominable because without its Sash it is useless. Crabominable is down. I then go into Naganadal because I honestly thought that it OHKO'd Magina with Fire Blast, and then I later found out that it wouldn't at all. I miss another move. I miss a Fire Blast there, but that one's not important because we outspeed Seismitoad, of course. Go for a Hidden Power Grass and take out the Seismitoad. Now we get a Beast Boost on the Magina. I just go for Draco Meteor, taking the Landorus down to its Sash, which basically just, this was the end of the game now. As soon as that Landorus was sashed, I lost, because now I go into Altaria. I could have got the kill here on the Landorus, for differential, but I don't know why I expected him to U-turn out, but I thought maybe I could get a Cotton Guard boost, and I don't really know what I was thinking, but I hadn't seen anything, and I was just tilted, so I just went for Cotton Guard. So Parkzy picks up a 2-0 win. Should have been a 1-0, but I just gave up at the end, to be completely honest. Should have just gone for the Dragon Claw, or for the return even, because that would hit the Magina. But I knew that as soon as Naganadal went down, that I had no chance of killing Magina, and it would just kill me with the Fleur Cannon, which was I don't know why I brought a Dragon Claw instead of Earthquake. Earthquake was definitely the thing I should have brought, and it was just silliness on my part. And yeah, I should have killed the Landorus for differential. Hopefully that won't matter by the end of the season. But yeah, that is... oh, and not to mention Parkzy getting poison at the end on the Altaria, which obviously not important, but just something else. It seemed like every turn at the end, something went against me. But that's Pokemon. It's a shithole of a game sometimes. It's 30% skill, 70% luck. And sometimes luck isn't on your side. Hopefully luck is back on our side next week against JP and the Benfinions. But that is all for this week. Best of luck to Parkzy for the rest of the season. He has a very good team, and I know it's a very good team because I wanted it and he took it from me. So yeah, I think he has the potential to do well this season. If you look at the week 0 power rankings, I believe I put him 4th. I honestly think he'll be quite a strong contender going into playoffs. Whether he'll be able to carry on in playoffs, we'll have to see. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next Sunday for the battle with JP, and I'll see you then.